So we are continuing in our yoga of the soul's release.
Mhm.
It's still just Canto 3 of Book 1.
Yes.
And Ashwapati is progressing. His soul is getting released. He's
Mhm.
beginning to learn who he is, beginning to learn about the world itself.
Yeah.
So we'll continue on now.
Sure, sir.
We already talked about this great being, the architect who builds in trance,
Mhm.
Hiranyagarbha. Yeah.
Yes.
So now you can begin the original desire.
Yeah. The original desire born in the void peered out. He saw the hope that never sleeps, the feet that run behind a fleeting fate, the ineffable meaning of the endless dream.
This is so beautiful. Mm. What is this original desire born in the void? It's the aspiration that the divine sends down to manifest himself in the ignorance, in the void. And that is that original desire for the divinization of earth, we could even say.
Okay.
Manifestation of the divine on earth.
Okay.
And therefore, when he looks out, he sees that hope that never sleeps. He sees the feet that are running behind a fleeting fate. And he sees the ineffable meaning of the endless dream. The meaning of that endless dream is the divinization through the supermental of those in the next phase of the evolution.
Okay. Narad sir, I have a question. Maybe it is silly or my ignorance, but I still want to ask. So, Narad sir, whenever the divine manifests on earth, it's, whenever we've seen Vishnu taking avatars, all the um, avatars that we've seen, only when there is pralay or something, really bad that has happened, that God has appeared. Um, I mean, it is when you're talking here about the aspiration that divine is sending down and the desire for manifestation of divine on earth, is there a connection with what I'm thinking, or I'm completely wrong?
You're completely wrong. and,
Okay.
and the reason is that if we say the divine is all good and all beautiful and all perfect,
Okay.
then where does all the negativity come in? Well, the
Mm,
Christians say it's the devil, and the
mm,
Muslims essentially say it's the devil, but it's not at all. It's still the divine
mm,
exploring himself in different ways, different manifestations, even evil, even darkness. But
mm,
we cannot understand that at this lower level of body, life, and mind. If we
mm,
can rise even to the higher mind, we will see a totally different understanding of all this. And this is what Krishna is trying to get through to Arjuna, who is a Kshatriya.
mm.
That,
Okay.
yes, you have to do what seems horrible to you because
Mm,
you're at this lower level of existence, lower level
mm,
of understanding. Once you can reach the higher level, you will see that I have already killed all of these people,
mm,
Krishna
mm,
tells him. And not only that, but you will see everything from a new perspective, which is the work of destruction in order to create new construction.
mm, mm, mm,
And nature is doing it every minute of every day. And
mm,
nature is the divine mother, working in somewhat ignorant, uh, in some ignorance. But
Mhm.
she loves her work. She loves these creations. And when a creation has to be destroyed, she's not sad about it because something new is going to come. So
Mhm.
the dinosaurs had their time and then they were destroyed because nature found something better.
Mhm. Okay.
Of course, that is humanity. Humanity
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question somewhat?
Yes, Narad sir. So
Okay.
basically, end of the day, we have to be the instrument of the divine, and you know, work in the order of the way the nature is functioning and asking us to prevail.
What, yeah, but what we have to do is we have to climb to that higher realization. We can
Mhm.
only do that in the silence of the mind, total
True.
silence of the mind,
Mhm.
and of course the aspiration of the heart.
Okay.
I would say those two things are paramount. So
Okay.
let's continue on then.
Sure. Um, Hardly for a moment glimpsed viewless to mine, as if a torch held by a power of God, the radiant world of the everlasting truth glimmered like a faint star bordering the night above the golden overmine's shimmering red.
A lot to go over here, and it will take us a little bit of time.
Mhm.
So Ashwapati sees something, but he only glimpses it at this point. He doesn't see it. It's not even, the mind is not even able to view it. It's viewless to mind.
Okay.
What does he see? He sees something like a torch that is held by a power of God. And what is that kind of that experience? It's the radiant world of the everlasting truth. And it's glimmering like a faint star that borders the night above the golden overmine's shimmering ridge. And I have to go through
Mm.
this word overmind with you because there's so much here from Sri Aurobindo.
Mhm.
The overmind is a sort of delegation from the supermind. Then he says this is a metaphor only, which supports the present evolutionary universe in which we live here in matter. If supermind were to start here from the beginning as the direct creative power, a world of the kind we see now would be impossible. It would have been full of the divine light from the beginning. There would be no involution in the inconscience of matter. Consequently, no gradual striving evolution of no striving evolution of consciousness in matter. A
Mm.
line is therefore drawn between the higher half of the universe of consciousness, parada, and the lower half, aparada. The higher half is constituted of Sat, Chit, Ananda, Mahas, the supramental. The lower half of mind, life, and matter. This line is the intermediary overmind, which, though luminous itself, keeps from us the full, indivisible supramental light, depends on it indeed, but in receiving it, it divides, distributes, breaks it up into separated aspects, powers, multiplicities of all kinds, each of which it is possible by a further diminution of consciousness, such as we reach in mind, to regard as the sole or the chief truth. and all the rest as subordinate or contradictory to it. So, what he's telling us here is that the overmind is the highest of the planes just below the supramental.
Okay.
You can even say it's a delegate of the supramental consciousness.
Okay.
It is a principle of cosmic truth, but it is still directly below the supermind. Now, here's what he says in another letter to a disciple, because this is very important. The overmind sees calmly, steadily, in great masses and large extensions of space and time and relation. Globally, it creates and acts in the same way. It is the world of the great gods, the divine creators. Wow.
World of the great gods.
Overmind is the world of the great gods, the divine creators, and it is essentially a spiritual power.
Okay.
So now he's seeing all of this. He's seeing all of this as he is evolving so rapidly. So please continue.
Narad sir, just one question. I was making notes. So the two divisions that you have told me, one Sat Chit Ananda, it is called Aradha. I was not able to find
Mahas, Mahas, Mahas.
Mahas. Okay.
And
the other,
Mahas is the supramental.
okay.
So we have Sat, Chit, Ananda, and then just below that, if you want to call it lower, Mahas, the supramental.
Mahas. So you used two words, right? Aradha and something, some Sanskrit words.
Yes. He speaks of a line drawn between the higher half of the universe of consciousness, Parardha,
Arardha.
P-A-R-A-R-D-H-A.
Arardha. Okay.
Yes. And the lower half, Aparadha.
Aparadha. Okay.
So the higher half is Sat, Chit, Ananda, Mahas. The lower half, mind, life, and matter.
Okay, mind, life, and matter. Okay. Okay.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
It's quite an important section, this one.
Yes.
Ashwapati is realizing so many things. Now, even we're caught.
Sure. Even were caught as through a cunning veil.
As through.
Even were caught as through a cunning veil, the smile of love that sanctions the long game, the calm indulgence and maternal breasts of wisdom, suckling the child laughter of chance, silence the nerves of the Almighty's power, the omniscient hush, womb of the immortal world, and of the timeless, the still brooding face, and the creative eye of eternity.
Oh, so we'll begin here. First, he sees it, catches it as through a very cunning veil, a very skillful, artfully subtle veil. He sees something. What does he see? He sees the smile of love that sanctions the long game. Well, the divine has descended into all aspects of existence, and he wants to enjoy this game, and he talks about this game, the smile of love that sanctions the long game. Sanctions means gives permission to it.
Okay.
A smile of love that gives permission to the long game. Even he sees the calm indulgence, indulgence being tolerance,
Okay.
permissiveness, leniency,
Mhm.
and the maternal breasts of wisdom, these maternal breasts of wisdom which are suckling the child laughter of chance.
Mm.
Well, so you see that wisdom is the creatrix,
Mm.
and the child laughter of chance is what we would call fate.
Okay.
But Sri Aurobindo tells us in his essays, Divine and Human, chance is not in this universe. The idea of illusion is itself an illusion. And then
Okay.
he says what we call chance is a play of the possibilities of the infinite. Allah. So he's experiencing all these things. What is
Mm.
he experiencing? He's experiencing wisdom. He's seeing the eternal breasts. He's seeing the smile of love, all through a cunning veil. And he's feeling silence, which he says is the nurse of the Almighty's power. And not
Mhm.
only that, he's seeing that omniscient hush. Sri Aurobindo in the Upanishads says the omniscient is not born nor dies, nor has he come into being from anywhere, nor is he anyone. He is unborn, he is constant and eternal. And then he says, he is the Ancient of Days, who is not slain in the slaying of the body.
Mm.
Oh. So he's experiencing silence, the nurse of the Almighty's power, because silence can enable us to receive the true word without distortion. If
Mm.
we receive something through the mind, we always distort it. He's seeing the omniscient, all powerful hush, womb of the immortal word. So the omniscient hush is the womb of the immortal word. And the immortal word, I would say, is Om,
Okay.
because Om has created all this, all these worlds and the earth. Now, he says also, and of the timeless, the still brooding face. Well, he is telling us that this meditating like face he sees, and it's a still brooding face because it's brooding on the creation, on what is happening in the evolution.
Okay.
But it's also of the timeless. There's no time limit to it. Mother says we'll always keep evolving. We'll never stop evolving. Once we have the supramental, we'll go into Satchit Ananda and above. No end to evolution. So this still brooding face, which is of the timeless,
Mm.
what does it do? It is the creative eye of eternity that he is seeing.
Mhm.
Magnificent. Magnificent.
Yeah.
We'll go a little bit more and then you can read everything
Sure,
because
Narad.
it's very, very important
Yeah.
passage.
Very powerful. The inspiring goddess entered a mortal's breast, made there her study of divining thought and sanctuary of prophetic speech, and sat upon the tripod seat of mind. All was made wide above and lit below.
Oh, so this extraordinary moment when the inspiring goddess, the divine Prakriti, enters Ashwapati's breast. And she makes there her study of divining thought. Divining would be here celestial thought, heavenly thought, intuitive thought. And also she makes in his breast a sanctuary of prophetic speech. You know what a sanctuary is. It's a holy place. It's a place of refuge. But now she is seated on the tripod seat of mind.
Mm.
Nolini says this refers to the three elements or stages of mind.
Mm.
And Alapandi tells us that's the three powers on which mental processes stand: reason, imagination,
Mm-hmm.
and sense perception.
Okay.
Madhav Pandit tells us the mind is pictured in terms of a seat with three legs, and that's the tripod seat. A seat that has three legs, huh? That's the tripod seat of mind. And Madhav goes on to tell us first one is the physical mind, the sense mentality. The second one is the vital mind, desire mind, dynamic mentality. And the third one is reason, thought mentality. The normal mind has these three layers.
Okay,
Now,
so which mind, can you repeat that one more time? Which mind has these three layers?
yes, the physical mind, the
Uh-huh.
vital mind, and reason.
Reason. Okay.
So you see, Alok's a little bit different. He says reason, imagination,
Reason.
which would
Mm.
be the vital mind, and sense perception.
Mm.
So we have all those three. The physical mind is sense perception.
Mm.
Then the vital mind we can say is desire mind or dynamic mentality or
Mm.
imagination. And
Okay.
lastly, we have reason, the
Reason.
thought mentality, and both of them agree on that. When we used to meet with Nolini, he's always very succinct. He would only use the words that were absolutely necessary. So here he says, refers to the three elements or stages of mind. So beautiful. So we'll do the last line now. All was made wide above, all lit low. So this is this incredible experience of Ashwapati that he sees all of these things. He sees this goddess, this inspiring goddess, entering his breast. There, her study of divining thought and making there her sanctuary of prophetic speech. And she's sitting on this tripod seat of mind, and therefore all was made wide above. all lit below. So if you can do that
Sure,
from the beginning, wonderful.
sure.
Take your time, read slowly.
Okay. The original desire born in the void peered out. He saw the hope that never sleeps, the feet that run behind a fleeting faith, the ineffable meaning of the endless dream. Hardly for a moment glimpsed, viewless to mind, as if a torch held by a power of God, the radiant world of the everlasting truth glimmered like a faint star bordering the night above the golden overmine's shimmering ridge. Even were caught as through a cunning veil, the smile of love that sanctions the long game, the calm indulgence and maternal breasts of wisdom suckling the child's laughter chants. Silence, the nurse of the Almighty's power, the omniscient hush, home of the immortal world and of the timeless, the still brooding face and the creative eye of eternity. The inspiring goddess entered a mortal's breast, made there her study of divining thought and sanctuary of prophetic speech, and sat upon the tripod seat of mind.
I didn't hear the word sanctuary.
Okay.
I
And
thought I.
sanctuary
Yes.
and sanctuary of prophetic speech, and sat upon the tripod seat of mind. All was made wide above, all lit below.
Yes, we could cover one more thing. We only have a minute left, but I wanted to cover one more thing, and that is the uh, the omniscient. The
Mhm.
omniscient. This omniscient means total knowledge, knowing everything.
Okay.
And here it is an adjective to the word hush. So it's an all-knowing hush.
Hmm. Okay.
Wonderful. All right then.
Thank you, Narad sir. Thanks a lot. This was, I'm just getting the visuals the way you're explaining. So it's uh, absolutely a divine experience for me just to understand that from you. Thank you so much, Narad sir.
Wonderful.
Namaste. Namaste.
Okay.